Hi, John. So I know I had you sit through a bunch of assessments, and I really appreciate your time. And I know that the material was pretty heavy. We had you do the depression inventory because you had indicated some feelings of depression and feeling like those symptoms were interfering with your life. I also wanted to check on, your feelings of hopelessness and suicidal ideation and also your levels of anxiety. Now, I want to be pretty frank with you. The reason that I picked those four assessments is because the symptoms that you were expressing sounded like they might indicate some suicidal thoughts going on. And I just want to make sure that you're safe and that you're okay. Now, I do have the results of those assessments here, and I'm going to go through those with you. It does look like you're experiencing pretty severe depression symptoms, which we kind of knew from what you had said, and that you're experiencing a lot of feelings of hopelessness, which just kind of means that when you look forward to the future, you're not really seeing anything good happening. You're feeling like really stuck, which I know with depression can definitely happen. Your anxiety levels were pretty moderate as well, which means they might not have been as high as the depression symptoms, but they're definitely making themselves known. And I know anxiety can make everything go faster and like make your palms sweaty, and experiencing panic attacks thrown in with everything else can kind of just make you feel the symptoms even worse. Now, with those three combined, you are at a high risk for suicide. I want to make sure that I'm being upfront with you. Now, I know people think that we're just going to ship you off to a helpline or an emergency room, but what I want to do is we're going to come up with a collaborative plan on how we're going to keep you safe and what that looks like for you. Now, that's our first priority before session ends today is what is our safety plan? Who, if anyone, are we contacting? What are our next steps to make sure that if you feel like you're going to commit suicide, what do we do to make sure that you don't take that next step? And then with the suicidal ideation scores, you scored pretty low. So I wanted to talk to you about that and see if you're not, if the way the questions worded were different, or if you're just not feeling a lot of suicidal ideation right now. But with the other scores combined being severe to moderate, which just means like fairly intense, we need to make sure that we make your safety plan first. And then we'll work on coping with the depression and the anxiety so we can get those levels down for you. So walk me through what your support system looks like and what kind of things you could do to make sure that if you feel like you're going to commit suicide, we can stop that from happening, because that really is our first concern. And yeah, a lot of people struggle with suicidal ideation. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It doesn't mean that we're judging you. It just means we need to come up with a plan to keep you safe. And then we can work on